Okay, so now we're on Unit 1.7. This is a shorter unit, mainly because most of the information in your book and in the classroom are deaf culture ideas, where this one is how to get someone's attention. You'll notice that periodically there are units that have specifically deaf culture topics, either a biography or some explanation of social interactions within the deaf community. And those usually have some kind of quick review of some other things that we've already gone over, and then it's really a brief chapter, most of those, so they're going to be pretty quick. This one does a bit about deaf culture, and then it goes on and does a review of same and different, and then some fist letters, finger spelling. So I'm trying to find. Somehow I have probably placed it within my other book. Okay, this is odd. Ah, here we go. I think it's. Oh, my cat is sitting over here. Just steal this. You're fine. You're fine, bud. Okay. Yes, ways of communicating with deaf people. So we will. I'm going to put those together in one, so that there's a longer video lecture that you can work your way through. They break it up to sort of break up the teaching of overall the semester, but I'm going to put them together so that you can move through at your own pace. So we're going to jump right to the same and different, and then the fist letters. And all of this in the PowerPoint you can do on your own, at your own pace. Oops. Right. So here I'll post the thing. So one of the big things that we're slightly changing, before we did same and different, where just asked you to identify, are these two things the same or are they different? Now we're going to take it a little step further. How are they different? So the goal is I would have everybody by the end of class divide into pairs, and you would give a pair of things and ask, how are they different? So first of all, identify, are they the same or are they different? And then how? You can kind of see that's the next step. Since we can't have conversations together, I'm going to show you first, how do we ask that question? So there are two different ways. The one is, we know the two sides, right? Same, similar, and different. And we know that if we're setting up two different things, we're going to set one to one side and one to the other using what's called contrastive structure. So, like, here's triangle. If I end with what, I'm asking what is the difference. If I say same, different, which, this is a new sign, which. This one or this one, chocolate or vanilla, right? So, which. That's the simpler question, even though it's now got an additional sign. Right. So the shape is different. We're actually getting to the point where we can have entire conversations. Just sign. So here's the new sign, which. And this is the vocab from the chapter. Review same, different. And then in the activity, we'd say what's different? Letters are different, or letters are different. Numbers are different. Their names are different. Shape, different. And then which. And then we'll go through, review them all, boom, 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 if you need to have the pressure. Then here's what was, oh, I just froze. Okay, the homework. 3 different things to go over on the DVD. Circle the names, cross out the names, write the names. We didn't want to do 3 different lists of names. So the first one's circle the names, and then you take the same list and cross out the name that they spell. And then you write the names in the blanks. If you don't have the book, it doesn't matter because I put them in here. So you can just go through, identify the names. I kept it the same way the book had it, but I figure once you know the difference, it doesn't matter how you mark it. So just some practice with fingerspelling. Next week, we will probably have our very first fingerspelling quiz, but I want to do some exercises beforehand. And then all the videos, which are basically just those same three, I put in one place. So if you need to look at them. So that's 1.7. Again, the only thing else that they talk about is communicating with deaf people. And really, in a sign language class, obviously the preference is sign language. But I want you to think about what are the ways that if you've ever met a deaf person, how have you communicated? What worked? What didn't? What was frustrating? Have you ever watched someone have a conversation? A deaf person and a hearing person who didn't sign. And what are ways that we could make those conversations easier in the future? It's a big issue right now when we're talking about police interaction, because deaf people have often had very difficult time dealing with the police or being dealt with harshly by the police who didn't understand that they couldn't understand. I will be sharing a series of videos that were published highlighting some different aspects of deaf culture and communication. And one of the most horrific ones are the amount of crimes that happen against deaf people simply because they can't hear the policeman giving them an order from behind. So we will talk about all of that in a separate little unit, a separate lecture. All right, so that's 1.7. Get ready for 1.8.